Quran is a timeless miracle, guiding humanity with wisdom that touches every aspect of life. From the creation of the universe to the intricate details of nature, it reveals signs meant to inspire awe and reflection. Among these signs, one natural wonder stands out: honey. In Surah An-Nahl, or the bee, the Quran specifically mentions honey as a divine gift. It describes how Allah inspired the bees to build their hives and produce a sweet, healing substance: honey. This is no ordinary food. It carries healing properties that modern science has only recently begun to understand. Honey is unique in the Quran because it is the only food explicitly praised for its ability to heal. This simple yet powerful substance reminds us of the deep connection between faith, nature, and health. Its golden sweetness holds a secret, a symbol of God's mercy and wisdom, preserved within the delicate work of the bee. As we embark on this journey to unlock the secret of honey in the Quran, consider this. Have you ever wondered why honey alone is singled out as a natural remedy in the sacred text? What might this mean for us today, in a world where many seek healing and hope? Have you ever wondered why honey is the only food mentioned in the Quran as having healing properties? Share your thoughts below. Comment if you've experienced the healing power of honey or know someone who has. Quranic reference and explanation: unlocking the secret of honey in the Quran. One of the most beautiful and insightful verses in the Quran about honey is found in Surah An-Nahl, the bee, verses 68 and 69. And your Lord inspired the bee, saying, "Take your habitations in the mountains and in the trees and in what they build. Then eat from all the fruits and follow the ways of your Lord laid down for you. There emerges from their bellies a drink, varying in colors, in which there is healing for people. Indeed, in that is a sign for a people who give thought." Quran 1668-69. This verse beautifully captures the divine inspiration given to the bee, guiding it to build its homes in diverse places, mountains, trees, and man-made structures, and to gather nectar from all kinds of fruits and flowers. The result is honey, a substance described as a drink emerging from their bellies, with colors that vary depending on the flowers visited. Most importantly, the verse emphasizes honey's healing qualities, positioning it as a natural remedy meant for human benefit. This remarkable guidance invites us to reflect on the complexity and perfection of the natural world, carefully orchestrated by God. The bee, a tiny creature, follows precise instructions and processes that result in a nutrient-rich food with powerful medicinal properties. Honey's ability to heal and nourish has been recognized by both ancient wisdom and modern science. Scientific insights: bees collect nectar from flowers and bring it back to their hives, where they transform it through enzymatic activity and evaporation into honey. This process is a marvel of natural chemistry and biology. Honey consists mainly of sugars like fructose and glucose, but it also contains antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. Studies show honey's antibacterial and antifungal properties, making it effective in treating wounds and infections. It also soothes sore throats, improves digestion, and supports the immune system. Scientists continue to explore honey's potential in modern medicine, from wound care to fighting antibiotic-resistant bacteria. This divine inspiration to the bee is a clear example of how faith and science are intertwined. The Quranic description, revealed over 1,400 years ago, aligns with what contemporary science has uncovered, encouraging believers to ponder and seek knowledge. What do you think this verse tells us about the connection between faith and science? Let's discuss. Have you studied the scientific miracles in the Quran? Drop your favorite examples. Real-world story 1: the crisis of bee colony collapse
and its impact. In recent decades, scientists and environmentalists around the world have raised alarm over a serious and growing threat: the rapid decline of bee populations, a phenomenon known as colony collapse disorder, CCD. This mysterious crisis causes entire colonies of bees to disappear suddenly, leaving behind empty hives. While the exact causes are complex and still under study, factors include pesticide exposure, habitat loss, climate change, disease, and pollution. Bees are not just producers of honey. They are vital pollinators, responsible for the growth of over 70% of the world's flowering plants and crops. Without bees, many fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds would fail to thrive, putting global food security at risk. It's estimated that 1/3 of the food we eat depends directly on pollination by bees and other insects. The crisis goes beyond honey production. It threatens the delicate balance of ecosystems that humans depend on for clean air, water, and fertile soil. This decline has wide-reaching consequences on biodiversity, agriculture, and ultimately, human health. This modern crisis starkly contrasts with the Quranic depiction of bees as divine creatures entrusted with an important role in creation. The Quran honors bees for their obedience to God's inspiration and their beneficial contributions through honey production and pollination. Surah An-Nahl, the bee, highlights the sacredness and wisdom behind their existence. The bee's plight calls upon us to reflect deeply on our responsibilities as stewards of the earth. Protecting these divine creatures is not only an environmental duty, but also a spiritual one, honoring the signs and blessings mentioned in the Quran. How can we help? Communities and individuals can take many steps to support bees, planting pollinator-friendly gardens, reducing pesticide use, advocating for environmental policies, supporting local beekeepers, and raising awareness about the importance of bees. Simple actions, combined with collective effort, can make a significant difference. How can we as individuals and communities protect these divine creatures? Share your ideas. Has your area been affected by bee decline? What changes have you noticed in nature? Real-world story 2. Healing stories with honey today. Honey's remarkable healing properties, praised in the Quran over 1,400 years ago, continue to be confirmed by modern medicine. Around the world, countless stories have emerged where honey has played a critical role in curing wounds, infections, and illnesses, especially those resistant to conventional antibiotics. One well-documented example is the use of medical-grade honey, such as Manuka honey, in hospitals to treat chronic wounds and burns. Its natural antibacterial and anti-inflammatory qualities help speed up healing and prevent infections, even when traditional antibiotics fail. This has proven invaluable in the fight against antibiotic-resistant bacteria, a growing global health concern. In many Muslim communities, scholars and health practitioners frequently reference the Quran and Sunnah when advocating for natural healing methods like honey. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is reported to have said, "Make use of the two remedies, honey and the Quran." This guidance encourages believers to seek the benefits found in both spiritual and physical cures. Internationally, institutions such as the World Health Organization, WHO, have recognized honey's medicinal value, endorsing its use in wound care and encouraging further research. WHO's support reinforces the Quranic message, bridging ancient wisdom with modern scientific validation. From rural villages in Asia to advanced medical centers in Europe, honey remains a vital, accessible, and natural remedy. Its healing legacy is alive today, healing not only physical wounds but also inspiring faith in the signs of God's creation. Do you use honey for healing? Tell us your story, or someone's you know. If you've ever used honey as medicine, how did it work for you? Comment below.
Quranic stories related to bees and honey. The significance of honey in Islam goes beyond its physical healing properties. It holds a deep spiritual meaning, as shown through the teachings and stories of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He often spoke about the blessings of honey, encouraging its use for health and well-being. One famous narration from the Prophet states, "Honey is a remedy for every illness, and the Quran is a remedy for all illness of the mind. Therefore, I recommend to you both remedies, the Quran and honey." This hadith beautifully connects the physical and spiritual realms, illustrating how divine wisdom manifests in nature's gifts. The Prophet's relationship with honey was personal and profound. He regularly consumed honey and recommended it for healing. On numerous occasions, honey was used as a treatment in his time, reflecting the Quran's guidance in practical daily life. Honey was a symbol of divine mercy, a sweet cure created by God's design. Beyond honey, the Quran contains many stories revealing God's signs through nature, from the growth of plants and the cycle of life, to the intricate behaviors of animals like the ants in Surah An-Nahl and the birds in Surah Al-Mulk. These stories invite believers to recognize the interconnectedness of all living things and to rely on God's wisdom and mercy. Spiritual lessons from these stories teach us patience, gratitude, and trust in God's signs. When we see the harmony and complexity in creatures as small as bees, we understand that every element of creation serves a purpose, directed by divine will. This reliance on God's signs brings comfort and encourages a deeper connection to faith. What lessons do you draw from the stories of the Prophet regarding nature's gifts? Let's hear your reflections. Which Quranic story about nature inspires you the most? Share your favorite. Deepening the subject, spiritual and scientific symbiosis. The relationship between science and religion is often portrayed as oppositional, but the story of honey in the Quran beautifully illustrates their profound harmony. The Quranic revelation about bees and honey, given over 1,400 years ago, aligns with and even anticipates modern scientific discoveries. This convergence encourages us to see faith and science not as conflicting forces, but as complementary pathways to truth. Honey is a perfect example of intricate design and creation. The process by which bees collect nectar, transform it enzymatically, and store honey involves a delicate balance of biology, chemistry, and ecology. This natural masterpiece not only nourishes but heals. It reflects a system so complex and efficient that it invites awe and reverence, a sign of divine wisdom. From a scientific perspective, honey's medicinal properties, its antibacterial effects, antioxidants, and wound healing abilities are now widely studied and utilized in medicine. Ongoing research explores honey's potential in combating antibiotic resistance and in developing new natural therapies. These advances echo the Quran's timeless insight, showing how divine knowledge can inspire scientific innovation. Spiritually, honey's story reminds us that God's creation is purposeful and interconnected. It invites believers to engage in contemplation, seeing the natural world as a reflection of divine mercy and wisdom. This deepens our understanding of health, not just as physical well-being, but as holistic balance, including spiritual harmony. Looking to the future, the synergy between Quranic wisdom and scientific research holds promise for discovering more natural remedies rooted in faith. As we learn more, the relationship between science and religion can foster mutual respect and enrich human knowledge, benefiting all. Do you believe science and religion can coexist and complement each other? Why or why not? Comment with your thoughts on the relationship between faith and science. Call to action and conclusion, unlocking the secret of honey in the Quran. Throughout this journey, we've seen the profound wisdom of the Quran in highlighting honey as a miraculous gift from God. Honey's unique healing powers, described centuries ago, continue to be validated by science today. From the Quranic verses inspiring the bee's divine guidance to real-world stories of healing and environmental urgency, the message is clear. Honey is not just food, but a sign of divine mercy and intricate design. Our responsibility as stewards of the earth is urgent. We must protect the bees, whose survival is vital to ecosystems and global food security. We should embrace honey wisely, recognizing its healing benefits while honoring the spiritual connection it represents. And we are called to seek knowledge, not only scientific but spiritual, within the Quran, reflecting on its timeless guidance. Let us close with a reminder from the Quran that healing comes from God's mercy. And when I am ill, it is He who cures me. Quran 26:80. May we cherish this divine gift and live in harmony with nature, inspired by faith and science alike. What will you do today to honor this divine gift? Comment your commitment below. Share this video with friends to spread the knowledge of honey's secret in the Quran.